a lifetime ago that I was a school principal, and my title has changed over the years, but the part of me that really believes in every kid's potential hasn't, and it never will. There's something about running a school that has an ability to stick with you, the parents, the kids, the hope, and the potential that every kid has in them. You carry their faces, their stories, long before and long after the days in the hallways fade. When I stepped into Vero Beach Elementary mid-year, let's just say the school was in a challenging season, we were working to rebuild trust, momentum, and hope. And at that time, the systems were failing. And I can tell you without doubt, we relied on the outside resources of our nonprofits to help build up every single student that was in our hallway. The school couldn't do it alone, and we didn't pretend like we could. And so many of you in this room right now were a part of the reason why that school was able to make such a significant turnaround. I'm going to try not to cry. Today, I have the honor of introducing one of my former students that was at Vero Beach Elementary when I stepped foot in the doors. And her mom is in the audience, and I can tell you that day one, her mom was knocking on the door, wondering what we're doing to fix that learning environment. And that was a lot of pressure. I have my husband and my son, Aiden, in the room tonight too. Aiden came to be with me. That I believed in the school. He came for pre-K and for early learning there. And I wanted you here today. This is the first time they've attended the event, because I wanted you to see why that work mattered, and why I wasn't home at night, and why sometimes I cried myself to sleep during those years. Because the work really mattered, and I couldn't have done it without all of you in the room. And I hope tonight, after you get a chance to hear from Natalie's, you understand why it matters to have wraparound services. It's deeply meaningful for me to be able to introduce one of my former students who was bright, thoughtful, and full of promise. And when I walked in, the school was not serving her well. And I can say that honestly. Like so many young people, she needed more than a seat in the classroom. She needed room to be curious, room to stretch, room to discover what made her light up as a learner and as a person. And I'm so honored to be able to introduce Natalie's to all of you and to let her share how these programs have helped change the trajectory of her life.
So growing up, I tried a lot of different classes. I tried art classes, I did a lot of different advanced classes, I tried ballet, I did safety patrol, I even tried farming. I didn't like it very much. I was never sure on any of my electives or clubs, and while I did enjoy a lot of them, just something felt like it was missing. But everything changed in 5th grade. Obviously, when she came in, the school changed a lot, and we had a lot more clubs. So I picked up a book in the library about parasitology, and I had never heard that word before, ever in my entire life, and I was really fascinated by it, and I really wanted to learn everything about it. Obviously I was curious, and the problem was nobody around me knew what it was. Nobody knew what I was talking about. There was no classes, there was no teachers, no guidance. It was something so specific. I mean, right now, does anybody even know what parasitology is? Like, anybody in the crowd by show of hands? I didn't think so. Like, nobody knows what it is. So, I felt really disappointed because I finally found something that I was really interested in, and I felt it was something that I could pursue as a passion, but nobody around me can help me. bugs and stuff. I wasn't really into all of that. And I decided to try it anyways. And that decision completely changed my life. Even now, as a 12th grader about to graduate, it is still one of the most meaningful experiences I've ever had in my entire life. Because of that club, I was able to explore my love for science in ways I never could have otherwise. I just recently went on to win second place in the Biomedical and Health Science Senior Division. I received an invitation to compete at the state level, and I am now deciding which college to commit to as a pre-med biology major student. Audubon because that's where I was able to explore my love for science beyond just reading a book. I don't know who I would have been today without this opportunity, and I'm extremely grateful for that opportunity. This isn't just about me either. Every child deserves access to a club or an elective that allows them to fully explore their passions. These students are the future, and without the right opportunities, how are they supposed to discover what excites them? Without art classes, where would our future artists come from? Without math classes, who becomes the next engineer or mathematician? And if you're someone who'd rather have research to back this up, I have that for you too. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, students who participate in extracurricular activities show higher attendance, stronger academic performance, and greater aspirations for education beyond high school. In fact, 68 students involved in extracurricular activities expect to earn a bachelor's degree or higher compared to only 48 of students who do not participate. That's a 20% increase in students. And let's not even get started on the attendance comparison. It's pretty bad. Another major focus in education today is STEAM: science, technology, engineering, and math. Schools offer plenty of opportunities in technology, art, and math, but science is often limited to general education classes that only scratch the surface. There's so much more to science than just basic chemistry or biology concepts, and clubs like Audubon help fill that gap. Audubon wasn't just about science either, it was also about connection. Whether we were photographing butterflies, caring for plants, or kayaking together, we built trust and friendship. It takes a lot of trust for a group of fifth graders to kayak without flipping a boat together. Through Audubon, I used a microscope for the first time, learned about mangroves, and took care of plants, and experienced nature in ways I never had before. These moments shaped who I am today, and extracurricular activities give students the chance to grow, explore, and discover who they are. I am living proof of what happens when kids are given that opportunity. My hope is that future students will have the opportunity to have more access to clubs like Audubon, because you never know what experience or club will change a life person. Thank you.